Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be reacting to a video called Discover Isle of Man, Europe's most notorious island, 37 fascinating facts. So we're gonna be learning a lot about this. I think it's British, but I am not sure. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Welcome to our channel, where we explore the most fascinating places in Europe. Today, we're taking you on an adventure to the Isle of Man, Europe's most notorious smuggling island.
Oh, smugglers.
This small island in the Irish Sea has a rich history of smuggling that dates back to the 18th century.
They're not
From
Irish,
brandy
right?
and tobacco to firearms and even people, the Isle of Man was a hub for smugglers. In fact, it was so notorious that it was known as the smuggler's paradise. But what made this island so attractive to tourists?
It's beautiful.
Join us as we uncover fascinating facts, history, and more of this European island. 1. The Isle of Man is a unique island located in the Irish Sea. It is not part of the United Kingdom or the European Union, but it is a self-governing British Crown dependency. The island has its own parliament, government, and legal system. 2. The island is smaller than Singapore and slightly larger than Guam, and has a population of about 80,000 people. 3. Around 8,500 years ago, the Isle of Man became an island when rising sea levels caused by melting glaciers cut Mesolithic Britain off from continental Europe. A land bridge had existed between the Isle of Man and Cumbria before this date, and the island has been inhabited by humans since. The island became the home to Irish colonists. 4. The island's tradition of hosting the biggest motorcycle race in the world, called the Isle of Man TT, is regarded as one of the most dangerous races in the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
5. Man has the oldest continuous parliament in the world, Tynwald. It's worth noting that several countries lay claim to this title, but the man's parliament has been standing without break ever since 979.
That's crazy.
6. Tynwald has allowed the island to do things differently from its neighboring countries.
Like what?
For example, way back in 1881, it allowed women to vote in national elections when no other country had.
Really? That's
7.
great.
The Isle of Man has been home to a large population of wallabies since they were introduced in the 19th century. 8. People born in the Isle of Man are called Manx, and their language is also called Manx.
Oh, of course, the Manx.
9. The Manx language, otherwise known as Manx Gaelic, is an ancient language that originates from the island's Celtic past.
It looks very Celtic,
It closely resembles that of Irish and Scottish Gaelic, but with a hint of Old Norse from when the Vikings came here.
Oh my god, the Vikings were there?
The language is considered to be critically endangered.
That makes me sad.
The Isle of Man has a rich history of smuggling that dates back centuries.
Explain this to me.
The island's rugged coastline and hidden coves make it the perfect location for smugglers to land their illicit goods. The island's most notorious smuggler was a man called William Cannell.
He looks very...
Cannell was also known as the Manx Captain. It is believed that he made a fortune smuggling goods between the Isle of Man and the British mainland.
What did he
11.
smuggle?
Manx cats have no tail. Ever seen a cat without a tail?
No.
That's probably a Manx cat. The
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
Very large hind legs and a rounded head.
They're gorgeous. They're so fluffy.
The island is well known for its traditional local dish of spuds and herring, or in Manx, pridas and herring. This dish consists of herring, potatoes, onion, and butter.
Looks good. I want to try that.
With its oceanic climate, the Isle of Man has rainfall during all months of the year.
That's like
the average annual temperature for the island is 15 degrees Celsius, around 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
A little cold.
The island is dry for 160 days a year, with an average humidity of 81%. 14. There is a unique road system with no national speed limit in the Isle of Man.
Oh, really?
Notwithstanding, there are recommended speed limits in regards to certain areas. 15. There's a breed of sheep from the island called the Manx Logton, which is known for sometimes having 4 or 6 horns. They're also incredibly rare.
I've never seen one of those.
There were only 43 of these breed of sheep left in the world.
Oh my god, there's more now, hopefully?
Existing alongside a plethora of natural habitats and picturesque glens, the island is the only entire jurisdiction in the world to be awarded status as a UNESCO biosphere. 17. Among the list of beautiful places to visit are the Sound and Calf of Man, Point of Airy, Glen May, Snaefell,
Oh, that's
Tynwald
gorgeous.
Arboretum, Spanish Head, Garwick Beach,
They
and
have so
Brada
many-
Head. 18.
Weird
The
names.
Bee Gees are from the Isle of Man. Thought they were Australian, did you? Nope.
Oh,
The Bee Gees are Manx through and through. Maurice, Robin, and Barry were all born on the Isle of Man.
oh, really?
Their family later moved to Australia, but they were born in Man.
Oh, okay, that
19.
explains it.
The Manx is the currency of the Isle of Man, issued by the Manx government. The Manx currency is not a legal tender outside of the island.
Okay, I
20.
thought they
There
used
is a
pounds.
fault line splitting the UK and America. The Lepidus suture runs through the Irish Sea, but is visible at one of our favorite places on the Isle of Man,
Visible.
Niarbyl. The Niarbyl fault shows where two ancient continents collided, Avalonia and Laurentia.
Oh my god!
Avalonia is now England, while Laurentia has part of North America and, interestingly, Scotland.
Really?
21.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
One of the more fun features of the island is the unassuming ferry bridge. There are actually two.
Okay.
The real one is out in the woods somewhere. The one everyone visits, though, is on the main road, and you have to say hello to the ferries as you go past.
Oh, that's
If you
so
don't,
nice.
it'll bring you bad luck.
I wouldn't dream of it.
The island's conversion to Christianity has been attributed to Saint Magold, an Irish missionary. The island's name derives from Manannan, the Brythonic and Gaelic equivalent of Neptune. 23. In 2006, the island decided to give 16 and 17-year-olds their voting rights too, making it the first jurisdiction in the British Isles to extend these rights
That's
to this
very
age
young.
group. 24. The Niarbyl Bay is a secluded beauty spot just south of Dalby Village on the island's west coast
looks very
and
Irish.
of great geological interest. At Niarbyl Beach, you can stand with each foot on different rocks derived from two separate continents.
Oh my god, I would love that.
25. The International Isle of Man TT Tourist Trophy Race has been conducted on the island since 1907.
That's
In
so, it's very
1907,
old.
the Manx Parliament passed a law allowing the roads on Man to be closed and used for the race. However,
yes.
it's just a normal street when not in use for the race.
That's the craziest
26.
part to me.
The symbol on the Island of Man flag is the Triskelion. The Triskelion is actually an ancient Celtic symbol that relies on rotational symmetry and a triple spiral.
Oh,
27. There is a hill on the Isle of Man where if you stop the car, it will start rolling back up the hill. Of course, it's an optical illusion, but a very strange one all the same.
it's
The hill
weird.
is known as the Magnetic Hill. 28. Isle of Man is famous for its unique railway system, with several narrow gauge railways that are popular with tourists. 29. The economy of the Island of Man is a low-tax economy. Financial services, manufacturing, and tourism are key sectors of the economy. The government offers
tourism.
low taxes and other incentives to high-technology companies and financial institutions to locate on the island.
Are there like
30. The three
Companies were
legs,
there?
the ancient national symbol of the Isle of Man, and its motto, whichever way you throw it, it will stand, reflects the resilience of a resourceful people.
oh my god, that's
Anyone who
very
consumes
clever.
liquor in the Isle of Man after being warned by a police officer not to do so commits an offense, and its maximum penalty is £500.
Okay,
32.
you sure?
There is a vampire grave in the Isle of Man's island.
Okay, I would
However,
go near.
nobody knows the true history of this grave in Malou and why it's been covered in chains and stakes since the 1850s.
Okay,
It
let's
is
leave it
said that it
alone.
belongs to Matthew Hassall and his wife Margaret, and the story goes that Matthew made an ungodly groan during his wake and had a stake through the heart to ensure that he didn't come alive again. 33. Set on the very southern
This is very creepy to see from like a modern lens because like that man was not dead. He could have been saved.
tip of the island, the Sound Cafe is set in an ideal location to enjoy the stunning view out over
the
the
sound.
Sound and the Calf of Man, a tiny island acting as a nature reserve
It's
and
gorgeous.
bird observatory. 34. Manx culture is packed with fascinating practices which are embedded into daily lives.
Oh,
For example, if you're talking about a certain rodent on the Isle of Man, don't say rat. Instead, longtail is an acceptable alternative.
okay, is it
This cultural
offensive?
quirk began centuries ago when sailors believed speaking a certain creature's name at sea was bad luck. Better safe
Oh.
than sorry.
Sure, yes.
35. If you're visiting in the spring, the Beer and Cider Festival is a great opportunity to sample real ale from around the world with
I would
over
go there.
150 featured
Would love
beers and
that.
ciders. 36.
So,
The Isle of
meio.
Man has its own national anthem called O Land of Our Birth, which is sung in Manx. 37. Cronk Ní Ré La is a hill in the southwest on the Isle of Man. It may be confused with a hill of a similar name in the parish of Derby, further north along the west coast of the island. The Cronk Ní Ré La is a place with fantastic views and enjoyable walks, a place where time doesn't matter.
It looks like a kind of
In
like a
conclusion,
volcano.
the video is an engaging piece that sheds light on the unique aspects of this fascinating island, the Isle of Man. From its rich history to its stunning natural beauty, the Isle of Man is truly a hidden gem worth exploring whenever you will visit Europe. What did you find interesting and fascinating about the Isle of Man? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like the video and hit the subscribe button below. Hope to see you in the next video.
I think, like, yes, I would love to go to the Isle of Man. I think, like, there's so many cool things about this. I want to know, especially, like, there's so many things that are like, oh, very interesting. The Manx language, like, I want to know. I don't think I've ever heard. I think I've heard the term before, but I didn't really know that. Oh, yes, Manx is like from the Isle of Man, but I don't think I've ever actually heard like anyone speak that language. Is it like similar to? I mean, they say it was sort of like very Celtic and sort of like with the Old Norse. Similar to sort of Gaelic and probably like Irish, but does it sound like that as well? I think it's very weird. They're very weird and very particular languages, which I know, like, well, all languages are weird and particular. If you don't really speak that language, it's gonna sound weird to you. So maybe it's a little bit of like, I'm saying, oh, it's weird, but it's because, yes, of course, I don't really know that language, so it's gonna sound a little weird. But I think it sounds like very, very beautiful. I think like Irish and Gaelic are they sound very interesting, I think, to the ear. But I would love to know that's like, does it sound similar? Would I be able to, like, at least I think like listening to one thing, it's another. But if you like see the thing written, especially like, I don't know, the national anthem, like would you like know what it kind of like what they're talking about? Like, is it similar or at least a little bit similar to English, or absolutely not? It's a whole completely new language. Like you wouldn't know. It's kind of sad to me that it's a kind of like they're losing it. I think, yes, of course, everyone speaks English now in this day and age. But I would love if they actually like did a little bit of like a revival, or they try to like keep old traditions, because I think it's important. I think preserving like old languages, and it's important for the culture as well, because it really does, like, if you don't really encourage like people to practice this or to learn that language in this particular case, like the culture loses like a huge part, a huge chunk of it. And I think it's easier probably like later on, like, in 100 years to sort of like assimilate with other things. I think it's important to preserve like old languages because it's part of a culture, and it really does help preserve a culture. It makes me like so sad that like, no, it's kind of they're losing that part of their culture. And I think, like, again, you don't know, like in 300 years or 400 years, they're maybe going to identify as I don't know, Irish or whatever. It's because, yes, that's one of the things, like, it's really easy to lose. I think you don't really realize that it's happening until it's already here and it's already too late and people do not speak it, and it's like, oh, it's been lost and no one can really like teach us because people have died. So it's a whole thing, and that makes me so sad. But the whole like island itself, I would love to visit. It looks gorgeous, like visually it's very pretty. It's very, like, again, it reminds me a little bit of Ireland, but like a little bit different. But I do love that it has like the particularities of being like between like the fault line between like, oh, there's like the whole separation between like the North Atlantic like line and the English one. Like, it's crazy because you're like in parts of two different like territories, not territories, yeah, oh yes, territories, why not, yeah, let's call them that. I love that because it's like, oh yeah, that's so cool. You can stand like on one rock and on the other rock. I think that's awesome. And the whole part, I think it's really like it looks like to be like, I don't know, that was my impression. It looks to be a little bit like a very whimsical place. I think it's the fact that they have like the fairies and the vampires, and it's like, okay, what sort of like other mythological creature we're gonna be having? Also, I like that they and that's, I think, goes along with the whole whimsical part of the whole, oh, you wouldn't call it a rat, like you would call it like a long-tailed creature or something like that. It's because I think it's based on old superstitions that old pirates and smugglers had, and it's been like ingrained in their own culture. So he's like, you wouldn't call a rat a rat. It's like, okay, sure, because it's like, it's bad luck. I love that. It's like, oh, again, it's so whimsical. I think I love the fairy road. Like, you have to say hello to the fairies, otherwise you get bad luck. Yes, I would definitely go to the fairy road, and I would obviously say hello because I don't want bad luck. So it's like all superstitions, and it's like, oh, it's so cool. Especially, I think, to live in one of those places, I think it would be very cool. I'm thinking, obviously, as a tourist, you're like, oh yes, of course I want to go there. But I think living in one of those places, I think it would be like, again, so like charming. It's like, oh, they have like their own little like superstitions and their own little things that I love that. It sounds so cool. The whole vampire situation, I'm like, yes, do not wake them up. Like, I like that it's been there from like, I don't know, I think it was like since the 1850s, and it's like no one has dared to actually remove the chains or something. It's because like we do not know, like, best to leave it alone. I agree. It's like, yes, best to leave alone all those things. You don't want to like wake up anything, I don't know, like it gives me like bad vibes. The Isle of Man, the whole like race they do, I think it's always been, I've seen videos and I think it's crazy. The fact, and I think the craziest part about that race to me is that it's done in normal streets. Like, yes, of course I can tell, like, because they're passing through like houses and like businesses, and it's so weird the fact that, oh, okay, people just like drive and walk on those roads where the thing's not closed. So it is like, that's, I think this is the most insane part to me. I think because, again, when I think about like Indy or F1 or the other one they do, I think it's in Monaco, the one that is like the Le Mans, I think. Maybe it's not Monaco, but that one. Like, I think they're close sort of like circuits in the fact that like I do not know what those races are like when the roads are like when there's no races. But I think, especially like, again, Indy, like, it's just like a place where you actually go to, and again, they have one sort of like circuits. I'm pretty sure they are sort of like, they're done for that. Like, they're prepared for that. It's not as if I am a normal citizen and I'm gonna be taking the curve that the actual pilots take. No, because it's a separate thing. So to me, I think the craziest part about this is like, no, you actually, like, you can just ride around this when you're not actually doing the race. The normal citizens just like do their own thing the other days of the year. I don't really know if they do this like once a year or several times a year, but the point still stands. I think that's the craziest part to me, of like, you can be, in your house in one, it's race day, and you can just like look up the window and like see the whole, like, the insane drivers going at insane speeds. It's like, okay, my god, this is crazy to me. So I love that. I would love to go, because I think it's like so crazy, and you can really do see like everyone's so like close, you're close to like the drivers. I know it's wild. I think it's very different from the other sort of like race driving sort of like other competitions. But I do want to say, I want to point it out that it's so funny to me also that they do the Isle of Man race, but there's like a parallel road where there's like no speed limit. So it's like, okay, they do really like their speed. It's like, in the Isle of Man, the minks, like, they love their speed. So I'm kind of scared about going there and driving. It's like, maybe people are they have like normal speeds where they're just like all year long. Except, of course, when you're like in this crazy road, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so scared. Those roads actually look a little scary. They don't really look like that. They're not that big, so they're not that wide. They look like kind of narrow. So it makes me a little scared. The whole like the sheep, like it wasn't a sheep, like with the four horn situation. Like, they're so weird. I loved, like, there's like so many particularities about this like little island that I don't know, like, I want to go. And the cat as well, like, the cat doesn't have a tail. There's like so many weird things about this place that I'm like, okay, I want to go like yesterday. I would sign me up. It looks like an incredible place. I definitely want to visit, because there's like so many little like particularities about this that is like, oh my god, yes, I want to go visit everything. It looks like a very cool place. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.